Communion is part of how your pastor takes care of you as your pastor. And that means, the word means shepherd. You, sheep, him, shepherd. Under shepherd of Jesus, yes. Certainly, in his flesh, a hireling, absolutely, but nonetheless, as a called and ordained servant of the word, right? As one set apart to do things with his mouth for the sake of the congregation, his job's to shepherd you. And close communion's part of that. Now, we never talk about that because we don't like giving that much authority to the pastor. Now, you go back and you read Walther on this, it's going to be about, the pastor's only authority is the word of God. But at that time, that meant a lot more than it does now. And so we've really stripped the theory of this thing. Now, I'm not saying that's exactly how to talk about it yet, right? But I think there's something there. There's something there. And there's also something stepping outside of the thought that I'm communing. Now, you are, for sure. Don't get me wrong. But really you're not. When you, not communing is happening and you are there, yeah? But it's not I. It's we. We are communing. We together are communing with Jesus. He is with all of us at one time. That idea, I'm not sure we have a way to talk about it or understand it because we're so hyper-individualistic. Everything is just my own identity, my own thoughts, my own decisions. I mean, the communal ability of Western Civ to see itself as plural. I mean, it's even there in our language that the word you doesn't have a plural way of being. We can't speak a plural you distinct from individual. You is mainly an individual word even when you say it to a group, right? We're so individual. And close communion, historically, like the reason it's there and the reason the Bible talks about it is because when you commune, it's not an individual. You are being put into common union with all those people in Jesus. And the question ultimately is, as a group, are they in Jesus? Not as any individual in Jesus, which is where they want to be. That's their whole fight. But as a group, are you in Jesus? And if you love me, you'll keep my word. And if you don't keep my word, I don't know you. I mean, it's just that simple. And so a body that's intentionally denying the word of God, you can't have common union with it. Now, again, I don't think any of this is going to convince them. And I want to acknowledge also that the heterodox have these lies in their midst without necessarily fully divorcing themselves from Christ. And that applies to really anybody who's still got the Trinity, which is why women's ordination is such a big deal, because it's going to attack the Trinity eventually. But it's not as though you're saying, when I will not commune with this other body, that therefore they're going to hell. That's not it at all. It's that therefore they have a significantly different view of Jesus. They have a significantly different belief in what it means to be unified with Jesus. And so there is no common union. There isn't a common union. So if you want to use the Lord's Supper to smother over the divisions which will destroy us, to sweep it under the rug like some dust, well, then that's what we're saying. We can't join in that. If there's an issue that's so prevalent that it could upend the Trinity as something we believe in, then we can't just be unified with that as a group. We can't do it. And, when you as an individual would go to another church, this is how real this is. When you as an individual that communes at an Orthodox church would go to another church and commune there, you're making the whole congregation you go back to commune with them too. You're bringing the leaven in, whether you know it or not. Right? So we don't want to do that. We want to strive to hold firmly to the trustworthy word as has been taught. But so here's that's kind of where your question goes, right? So their main criticism is that it is creating disunity among the family, caps on family. That's interesting. And that we, LCMS, are the ones creating the divisions. Well, that's really, really convenient, isn't it? Isn't it convenient when someone gets to say how it's all your fault and then you have to prove that it's not your fault? And it's just in an interpersonal conversation, and we're not talking like you've been arrested or anything like that. I mean, at that point, you do got to prove it, you know. But you know, isn't it weird? Isn't it weird? Isn't it weird that the conversation begins with "you do this, it's evil," and if you say that we do evil, that's why you're evil, right? Like. Talk about silencing people. Talk about just being rude, right? Just being rude. So there's disunity among the family. I love it. I love it. It's hopeless, my friend. I mean, I don't mean to be rude, but like don't assume or think you're going to talk your way through this and have everyone be happy with you. They're just not. They're not. You know what Jesus said about this? Jesus verses, like, you know, you're creating disunity in the family. It was like, yeah, that's what I came to do. That's what Jesus says. I came to set mother against father and son-in-law against father-in-law. I didn't come to bring peace, but a sword. So, I like that's not an argument. Now, it doesn't mean every time you create division, therefore you're doing Jesus' work. But like when someone says that created division, like that doesn't mean it's not Jesus. Jesus creates division. That's what he does. He said he was going to.